guys, Leanne here on Grady's Mom. Today I have a cooking video for you. This is going to be volume 29 of my cooking series, and it is a very easy recipe. You guys know that I like to make easy recipes. So this one is a sausage and pepper pasta dish with a pesto flavor. However, if you don't like pesto, pesto is something I find you either love it or you hate it. If you don't like pesto, you can make this recipe the same exact way that I'm going to make it, except instead of the pesto, you're going to use just like an extra virgin olive oil. You're definitely going to want to use olive oil and not a different kind of oil for this recipe. However, if you love pesto like me, you can just obviously follow right along. Super simple. Again, all you're going to need is pesto sauce. You can use homemade, which is always going to be better. I like this jarred Classico brand of traditional basil pesto. You're going to need an orange, a red, and a yellow pepper. However, like a green pepper thrown in there in substitution for one of these colors would be perfectly fine. I'm going to use about half of this white onion. This is like a medium-sized onion. I'm going to use about half. You're going to need sausage, obviously. I really like this kind because it's easy to work with and it tastes good. It's just a regular pork sausage. It's ground up, so it's not in the sausage links. However, if you want to use sausage links, you could do one of two things. You could cut the casing and take the meat out of the casing, or you could just fry up the sausage sliced up in its casing. Again, I like this because it's easy, it's out of the casing, it's ground, it's easy to work with, and it tastes good. I also have some baby Bella mushrooms here. I'm going to throw a few of these in, not all of these. My husband's not a huge mushroom fan, but I do want to use some of them up. Mushrooms are optional. Really, you can just use the peppers and the onion, which I have done before. But if you do like mushrooms, go ahead and throw a few of those in as well. And as far as pasta, I really like to use this kind, the Cellentani pasta, which is like a corkscrew pasta. This box is already open, but it just looks like this, just like a corkscrew. It has some ridges in it. And I actually already have the water going, some salted water, to throw the pasta in because you want to multitask. And if you can get your pasta going while you're prepping all of this other stuff, go ahead and do that. So I'm going to throw my pasta in, and let's go ahead and prep this stuff to get in the saute pan. Alright guys, pasta is in the pot. Again, you want to salt that water. And I just set a timer on my microwave just so I don't lose track of how long. Just follow the directions on the box. Just gave that a stir. In the pan right next to that, at the same time, I have my sausage out of the casing. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to break this up small. I have the heat turned on to medium-high. You can do medium if you want. And I'm just going to keep breaking this up off camera. Once I get it broken up, I'm just going to let it do its thing. And meanwhile, while this is going and this is sauteing up, I'm going to get the veggies prepped to go right in the same pan. Okay guys, so sausage is looking like it is almost done. You want to make sure it's fully cooked because we're going to take this out of the pan in just a second. So as you can see, there's little brown bits and it looks like it's almost done. Meanwhile, behind me, I have my 3 peppers cut up, my half onion chopped up, and I did only use maybe about the equivalent of 4 large mushrooms. Again, not a ton because my husband is not a huge fan. That is sitting here ready to go in the same pan that the sausage is in when we remove it. Pasta I drained. It is sitting here waiting on me. I'm going to go ahead and add the pesto right now, and let's saute up those veggies. Okay, so first thing you do is you take the cooked sausage and you put it on a plate lined with a paper towel because you want the fat to soak out of the sausage and get on the paper towel. So there is a little bit of fat left in the bottom of the pan, as you can see. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add the veggies in. Heat is on medium-high, and we're not gonna add any additional oil. We're just gonna let these cook in that little bit of sausage grease, if you will, that was left over in the pan. The veggies will get the nice flavor from that. And since the pan is already hot, it just makes sense to do it like this, because why get another pan dirty and have to scrub another pan? Okay, so I'm just gonna let these go on medium-high. Let's go ahead now and get the pesto into the pasta. Okay, I've got my drained cooked pasta here. I've got my pesto here, and I'm gonna start out with a heaping teaspoon and another heaping teaspoon. So let's call it 1 tablespoon, if you will. And I'm just going to use a wooden spoon. And again, the pasta is nice and hot, which works better to incorporate the pesto because the heat from the pasta will break that pesto down. So I'm just going to stir it up. By the way, this pasta was the equivalent to 1 box. I used the half box that was already open and then another half of a new box. So it was equivalent to 1 whole box. So I'm just going to stir this all up. If you guys can hopefully see, it's getting speckled, which is what you're looking for. You don't want it to be saturated in pesto, you want it just to be speckled. Okay, so I think I'm going to need just a little bit more. So I'm just going to add another teaspoon, not really heaping, just a normal teaspoon, and just incorporate that all into the pasta. It's looking nice and speckled, which is what you want. Okay, so that looks good. Let me give you guys a closer look. See how it's speckled? Perfect. So, the veggies are cooking away. I'm just going to stir these up and we're going to bring this all together. Okay guys, so my veggies were looking a little bit dry. So in this case, I added just a dab of this extra virgin olive oil just because, again, they looked a little dry. They were sticking to the pan. So see how it's not greasy? There's just that light little coating of olive oil. So use your judgment. If you have enough little sausage grease left and your veggies are not looking dry, just go with the flow and don't add anything. If they're looking a little dry, just add a little bit of olive oil. Okay, so these are almost done. They're getting a little bit translucent and a little bit brown on the edges. And then once these are done, we're gonna add the sausage back in, add the pasta, and bring it all together. It's so easy, guys, so easy. Okay, so we're looking done. I'm gonna turn the heat off since the pan is hot. I'm gonna add my pasta right on top of the peppers, the mushrooms, and I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can scrape any little bits. I'm not gonna go too crazy, but any little extra bits of pesto out of this pot. Again, make sure you turn your heat off because the pan is already hot. I'm gonna start first by combining this. Just bringing the bottom to the top. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add in my sausage that's cooked. Lost a few pieces here. Let me get these back in. And I promise my oven is clean, so I'm not putting anything in the pan that was dirty. Okay? And you can still hear it sizzling. It's a screaming hot pan. So, now we just want to combine it gently because we don't want it all over the floor. Now this is looking a little bit dry to me, just slightly. We don't want it to be wet, but it's looking just slightly a little bit too dry to me. So I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit of olive oil, which I will show you how much right now. So I've got my olive oil. I'm just going to do a couple drizzles around the pan. Again, this is a lot of food, so that's really not a lot of olive oil. And I'm just going to combine this. We want it to look a little bit like it's glistening, but again, not wet. So that already looks much better. So that is all it is. I'm going to plate this up. I'm going to top it with a little bit of Parmesan cheese, and we are done. We have a really easy dinner. Again, if you want to skip the pesto, you would just add olive oil to moisten it instead of the pesto. Let me go ahead and get a plate for myself. Okay guys, so here is how much it makes, plus my portion. Again, this is a full box of pasta, a full pound of sausage, 3 peppers, you know, and half an onion, so it does make a good amount. I'm gonna say this could easily feed a family of 4. However, I eat a lot, so that is going by my eating standards. If your family is a family that maybe doesn't eat that big of portions, maybe 5 to 6 people, but this, in my mind, would feed 4 adults for dinner. Maybe have like a salad or something on the side, but it looks super yummy. Again, it has a nice little moist look because of the olive oil. So many flavors. The pesto really brings it over the edge. You can put some parm cheese on top, which I'm gonna do shortly. So yeah, this is how it looks. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you give this one a try. It's a really good dish year round, and I think your family's gonna love it. So I hope you enjoyed again. Have a great day, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye guys.